Hello, welcome to the Nomad stream. I don't know why I keep doing this like sing-song talking when I intro the stream. Welcome to the Nomad stream. I am working on more Nightreign today. And I'm gonna go out for a run later. Like if you have followed my previous streams, I'm trying to do like I keep thinking of 5k to couch, but no, it's like couch to 5k. Today is, I think today is like 3 minutes running, 3 minutes. What is it today? Keep losing track. Couch to 5k. Yeah, today is 3 minutes run, 3 minutes walk, and repeat that 4 times. I'm kind of like half looking forward to that. Quite. I wish that my body can like catch up already, but I guess it's only 3 weeks in right now. So I guess my body's still tired, but that's just how it is when an unfit person wants to become fit. So today would just be like, I was planning to do a chill session today, and hopefully it'll be quite short because it's just about organizing all my outline and stuff. It's really messy right now because the way I sculpt things is quite organic, I think, like quite freestyle, where like let's say if I'm going to try, maybe I should turn it back to madcap. So like let's say if I don't know, if I want to add something on her stuff, then I'll just do this and then maybe paint a different color. Let's say if there's some detail on her arm sleeve or something like that. So that's usually how I sculpt things nowadays. It's very free, very easy, because I also know how to fix stuff if things goes wrong. So yeah, but because of this, the outliner gets really messy. Oh my god. And the other thing is that I'm trying to make my second Nomad Sculpt tutorial, and like I scripted this much, but then yeah, it's still quite hard to, I still find it quite hard to like organize what to say first, because there's quite a lot of things. The next tutorial will be about the symmetry tab and all that, and like the reason why I can sculpt so freely without worrying much about being like systematic and all that is because I know how to use everything over here. I know how to use this to fix anything if something goes wrong. And yeah, I'm just trying to make like a two-part tutorial where it will enable anyone to be more comfortable with sculpting the way that I do, because I think it's more fun that way when like you don't have to think about things too technically. But anyway, let's get to, why is his wings clipping? I guess his wings has to. Why is this clipping too? Let me just fix this real quick. Let me just move it. I'll start with him. Oh, and lesson for the day. Lesson for the day for today's live stream would be to flip objects, because I think in the past when I was trying to like follow someone else's like file or something, then the way that I usually flip, like let's say this is her right boot and then her left boots, and then I want to mirror it to the right side as a, let me see, I'll delete this and restart. So if I do a mirror for this, then yeah, it will mirror the boots over. But the problem with this is that, what? Oh, I guess I didn't use it. But problem with mirroring is that, let's say if I want to do a unique leg pose like this, then let's say if I rotate this, wait a minute, so let's say if I rotate the leg, it will be mirrored and this one will be rotated too. So to fix that, I can't use the mirror. Instead, I'll be like duplicating this, and then I'll set the scale to -1. Can I get the keyboard? So I'll get to -1 like that, and then this was how I did Maximus, my previous project sculpt, and it was quite tedious too. Don't really know why I picked this up and like why I did this, because there is a better way to do this instead of flipping it like that. It's, let me just delete this off. It's just by instancing this, and then under the symmetry tab, if let's say your pivot point is, can I go to the front? And open the grid. Let's say if your pivot point is exactly in the middle of where you want it to flip, then I can just flip this along the x-axis, but I don't want to flip it like here, because it will flip along this axis and then the foot will only be here. So instead, I'll select this group that I've created where the pivot point is in the middle, and then wait, how did it work just now? And why is it not working now? Yeah, why was it working just now? Oh my god. You know what, I'll just set it to wall and then just flip it. Is it because this instance? Oh. Hey, thanks to this I realized that instancing an object technical failure, guys. Oh my god. I'm so glad I didn't do this as a tutorial yet, because because this also affects instance objects. Whereas if I don't instance this and I just clone this, and if I move it, if I just flip this, why is it know that I'm intentionally doing it? Then it did I do it on the non-instance object? Okay, I have to go back to the drawing board because it's not working out. You know what, let's scrape that. Today's lesson will be on something that I found out only like very like too late, and I'm kind of bummed out by that. Would be something about moving things in the outliner. So let's say if you want to move multiple objects. In the past, when I was trying to move multiple objects, especially moving them out of a group, like let's say I want to move this out of a group, then I'd be like, oh, I can't move multiple objects out and all that. Then I need to like, oh, do I need to just move everything out by individual pieces? But then it turns out that I'm just clicking the wrong thing. So you can see like when I highlight multiple objects, there's one that is really there's a different color, and that's usually the last item that you click on. And if you click on the ones that is not that color, you'll be moving individual objects. But if I select the one that I last selected, then I'll be moving multiple objects at one go. So it's cool that I found this out when I was sculpting them. Because can you imagine, I was doing this the whole time. It was so stupid. Anyway, lesson of the day done. Let's neaten this up. I'm gonna start with, I guess I'll just start with the easier ones. I think this one is done. In general, I don't really have like a set way of organizing my outliner. It's kind of like more of what I need to do when I'm sculpting. How do I put it? Like sometimes I don't attach the head to the neck all the time, but if I parent this head on the neck and I move the neck for posing, then it's helpful to have the head follow along like that. But like sometimes when I need to do drastic changes to the neck, let's say, then I would want this neck to be isolated, and then maybe later on then I put it back like that. So it's not really set in place how things are parented on the outliner. But usually at the start, when I am doing the block in phase, when like it's just a lot of big shapes and just trying to do more like big picture posing and all that, I tend to just keep them more organized like this. So this one, I wish that there's a way to make it longer, because like it's very hard to see the name in here. And I guess usually if that happens, then I just bear with it. So I think these are, so maybe I think I probably would just do this in the future. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll just do it now. And something else that I learned was holding down. I have a key press that toggles smooth, I think. Oh wait, no, it doesn't have to be just for smooth, but as long as the binding. I think, which one is it? Selection? As long as the binding. Yeah, I don't remember which one it is. But as long as one of the buttons. There's a button somewhere, I think, that allows multi-selection. But I don't remember which one it is. Maybe it's one of this. Not sure. Because what button is this? It's this one. Yeah, it's not keyed to this either. Yeah, sorry guys. I don't really know which one it is. But it's this select tool right here. And so if I hold down this button and drag, I can do multi-selection like that. So I want to group these. I want to group his teeth together. And I'm wondering if I want to just, I'm thinking about where I want to put the pivot point for the group. And normally pivot points are created in the middle of a selection like this, but I don't think I want it, it's not even centered. So I think I'll create it at where his head is, and the way to do it is to, while the head is selected, and I have this pivot point with the gizmo tool enabled, then I can click on this checkbox on gizmo. I think by default, if you're on other tools, that you can't select this one. I think, like, this is just based on experience. So on gizmo, and then I'll create a group, and now the group will appear at the same point. And now I will ungroup this. So I'll ungroup this, and then I'll move it along the axis of the head like this. And maybe I'll put it, maybe I'll just put it here. I think that's not a bad place to have. And maybe rotate it a bit. It doesn't really matter where it is. It's just something that I feel like, oh, it makes sense to me where it is, because I'm not doing any rigging and stuff. I'm not doing rigging or animation with this, so it doesn't really matter. It only matters a lot when you need to rig and animate these things. So I multiple selected, and then I'll move them to yeah, not really sure how to So I just encountered a different. I should write these down because these would be good examples. So if I have multiple selected with this, none of them are highlighted. So maybe I'll do this. Okay, so I just noticed that using the multi-select, there isn't any that's like last selected. And so I can't move all of them at one go, like that. So I just just select by hand. Then this is the last selected. I'll move them all into this. Now there's a group here. I'll move it back to the mirror. And this will be T. Then this way it's a lot more, I guess it's a bit neater this way. These are eyes. Not sure how much I want to. What's this? I tried to organize them in a systematic, like in order to. So I'll do like this. Try to split it to up and down. Oh, maybe it doesn't really matter. A lot of these are not final yet, so I will just leave them alone. So I think this one. Torso, like front. And these are claws. Do I want to rename them? Was there a way to batch rename stuff? I don't remember whether there's a way to batch rename. Let's see. I guess you can rename them. Like something that I should have done would be to make sure that I rename pieces before. Wait, did I duplicate these? Or maybe not, maybe they're all instances. Yeah, probably need to rename them, so I'm not going to do that now because they're already organized anyway. So that's the front legs, the back legs, the tail. And then this one, I'll just duplicate because it's quite a lot that I've done for this. Then I'll just duplicate this and I'll just do one right now. I think I'll instance this. And I just do one of them, for example. I will instance this. And then uninstance the group because I don't really want the groups to be affected. So this included, just select the group like this without the objects inside and uninstance. Then everything be instance. I'm not really sure whether mirror be instance, but I guess so. And then which one is this one? It's a lot faster to do this than to move every single piece into its own group again. If let's say it's just like, let's say if it's just moving like 3 pieces, then maybe it's easier to just do all the groupings in the individual ones. But sometimes when there's so many things to do, it's a lot faster to just duplicate it and then kind of like just putting things at relatively the same place like this. Where's the group so weird? So I just noticed that the group is not where I want, so it becomes really hard to manipulate the groups. So when it comes to that, I want to reset this thing. So I'll replace this with a new one, and to do that, I'll do the same thing where I'll select this and create a group and then separate it so that I can move this around by itself. And then I'll move this along just a single axis. So let's say if the dog is here, then I will know that if I move along this axis, the group is always in the middle of its head, like that, instead of like moving it like this. So I'm going to move it like that and then rotate, move it up maybe here, and move it around where it should rotate around the neck, like so. And this is depending on what usage you want it to be. For me, I want it to rotate around the neck, so this is why I chose this position. I just look around and make sure that it's not like too high or too low, somewhere in the middle like that. So this one's good. Then now I will move this in here. I'll rename this. It's quite tedious, right, doing these, but it makes the job a lot easier, like down the line. It's like sometimes I will spend, like, it is a bit time consuming, but I'll try to make sure that the files are in order before I keep going, like, at every stage. So now I have this one where I can rotate it properly. So I'll do the same thing. I'll instance this and uninstance the group. And then I'll move this down here. I don't remember why the group wasn't working out, but I think because Nomad Sculpt updated, then when I was sculpting the dogs, I didn't know how to, like, with the new update, I think from 1.9 to 2, this thing was introduced, and like I didn't see it at the time because I was just like looking at these like that. But eventually, after I created all this, I realized that there's this bar over here. So let me match it now. Today is one of those days when I feel like nothing's going my way. But usually when that happens, then just like I try to slow down even more and just trust in the process. Okay, now it's kind of matching because this is not the final. I don't really mind like this. And I can delete this one now. I can delete this. And now I have a hit on this one that has the proper groupings and all that. And that's cool. I guess I'll do it for this too. So I'll instance this, double tap to select the group only, and then double tap this. Sometimes with so many things with the outliner, it takes me a second to like, where's the item that I need to move around. Okay, make sure that this is the one that I want to replace. And then move it around like this, and then rotate it upwards. I think something else that I should have done would be, I didn't really think about this, but I should have rotated the group to be like that. So I should have done that to make it a lot easier to rotate. the head. I think that's close enough. I'll delete this now. Then when it comes to these ones, well, I remember you need to rotate this so that when I move it along the axis like this, it makes more sense. Then let's say if I move like this, then it's a bit weird to move it like that. So I think the dogs are done. Now I can close them up. The chain is done. These guys are just extras, so I'm not going to touch them. I'm not going to touch them yet. This one is just a base mesh. I'm going to hide that. And then there's the guardian here, this one. These are the base poses. So I hide this, so I can hide this one too. And then this one, I can delete this. Can hide this. The lights, I can hide it. I think even for creating a group for everything, I try to, because I try to sculpt in the center of the, well, it's not really centered right now, because I try to sculpt in the center, and if it's not, then I will try to put the gizmo on this one in the middle of the majority. So the way to do that would be to pick out the one, but actually in this case it's not really the one. Thinking about it. So the way I like to think about is that right now the whole thing is a bit off-centered to make way for these guys, because I want to sculpt them at the wall origin, but I'm not sure whether in the future I'll want to move them like more to the center or just leave them over here. But if that's the case, then for now I'll just make sure the none is selected right now, and then I'll create a group. And this creates a group in the center like that. And then I'll just move it to maybe somewhere there. and then select all these. Like this. And then this one is just a group. Now I can delete this. So that's the general structure cleaned up. When that's done, let's move on to the characters. I think the only thing that I'll complain about would be how much I can open this up. Because when it comes to files with so many pieces and like so many things stacked, then the name starts getting squished like bit by bit. It's not really that bad though. So I'll work from the top. In general, when structuring a group, I'll try to do like top to bottom. This one is the weapon. Maybe I can group this weapon first. So this long one, then this one. So this is the handle. I'll select everything. And what do I want the pivot point to be? I guess having the pivot point in the middle of everything is not bad. So I'll just select all of them so that the gizmo will be on the average, and then I'll group this and call this Albert. What's this thing called? Handle? Like so. And then I'll hide the ones that are already done to get it off the way. Then this one. It's quite messy right now with all this. So is it all here? I want it to be in the center of everything. So kind of like over here. Maybe somewhere along the handle would be nice. Then this one is kind of settled. And then I'll do the same thing on the gizmo, create a group. Then select all of this. I tend to put the biggest pieces at the top so that when I open a really long group like this, in general, the piece that I want is there. Or I will just put it outside like this. So maybe the blade, then the midpoint, I'm not going to rename it, and then the feathers and handle. So that's good. Now this one's done. I'll hide this. Now back to him. Let me see what's in this group. So a lot of things have changed since I created this group. I think he used to have a torso here, but I cut it off because he has this skirt covering everything. And I think in the end I'm going to move it to, I need to color this the same color. I'm going to just like group this together eventually. Was that too fast? Yeah, I'll group this eventually. So now this one, the positioning is wrong, and like it doesn't really matter. Like, I can do this too, but then it becomes a bit messy for me. So sometimes the way that I like to do this would be to take it off the group, and then I'll move this up like this. Maybe I'll move it here so that it hinges at around the belt of his, like wherever it makes sense to hinge. Then now I can move everything back. So now when I rotate this, it hinges along the correct place. I don't, what the hell is this? Oh, right. And I have the torso here. Here's the pivot point for the torso, it doesn't really matter. Then the chest plate. Which one is this? Chest plate, back. Wait, then just back plate, what? Back plate 2. Then this is, what's this? Neck. Torso. Do I want to group this together? Or do I want to put this out here? So the head, eye, beak, topped, beak, bottom. So the head is done. I'll hide it first. And then chest plate, back plate, neck plate is above the chest plate. I'll just put it above. Then I'll call this shoulder mesh left. Shoulder mesh right. And then the arm is kind of in order already, because I was neater about this one. Then the hand, I didn't do that much to it, so it's around the same. And the grouping is such that if I rotate around this, let's say, then the hand will follow. But I'll just make sure that the pivot point is kind of correct. Because like sometimes when we sculpt, we may move it a bit too much like that, and the pivot point will still be there. So sometimes when I reach a certain stage of my sculpt, I will just double check again if it's not in the center, like that. So I hide this. Then the wings are generally fine. Wings are alright. And then the hip is quite a bit of what I need to do. So I have this group that controls his torso. Like let's say if I want him to do a pre-workout stretch. I'm so goofy. And then, oh, there's these things. These are the torso stuff. Torso what? Harness? And I guess I'll put it quite high up here because it's just right beside his torso. I think this is neat enough for me. I'll hide this. And this is shield. I think his shield, I'll put it together with here, like that. I find this too long, but can I just move it and by will affect everything else. Give me a moment, the door is open. See, I think for his torso it's quite messy. Like there's a mirror all the way up here, so I'll fix that. This is his belt. And then front plate. I don't know what these things are called. And this one. I think the mirror is like too high up because it will get confusing. I would think that it's somewhere here, but it's for these things instead. So I will move it down. So I just group this first, move it out, and move this down to maybe somewhere here would be nice. And then move them back. Sometimes I use groups to move things around in masses. Just do whatever that is. It's like convenient for you. Oh, hello, Sculptura. Thank you for coming in. Oh, I can't regret. I don't know what Samsung tabs are like. Tablets, I mean. But yeah, I'm not sure whether Samsung would have Nomad Sculpt. Yeah. Yeah, like I'm not really sure what Android tablets are like, but I really hope that they can, like if they haven't, that they can catch up with iPads, because it's always nice to have like competitions and like to have more options. Yeah, thanks for dropping by. Okay, let me see. Where was I? Belt. Hip. Sometimes it's helpful to also like select multiple and just hide like this to see where they are. This one should be here. So I'll put this with the belt like this. Hip front. I guess this being their own group is fine. But sometimes it's also good to keep them separate. And the way that I like to do that would be, I'll think about where the pivot point should be, like that. And then do I want the same pivot point for these? I guess it's fine. So I'll clone this. Oops. Select everything and clone everything. And then I'll delete the feathers at 1 and delete everything else in the other. Then now I have this one by itself and the feathers by themselves, just to keep things neater this way, and if I want to move them together like that, it's a lot easier. So I think this hip stuff is fine. Are those game models? No, I created them from scratch. Yeah, I think they started. It's always so amusing to see how they started. So they started out like this. Got this base mesh somewhere, and then tweaked it a bit, and then just like very slowly built them piece by piece. So I built him first, then him, then the recluse, and then finally Duchess. And like the colors really help a lot. Like even just like, let's say let me get this color. Like let's say if I just color this, then it kind of looks more like her in a way. If I just look at the meshes without the colors, then like it feels like something is a bit missing. So yeah, and then just do things bit by bit. But I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you. Yes, I got this from Nightreign. I wasn't even in the live network test. I don't even know how to join the network test and all that stuff. I'm just a extremely casual player. Okay, this one. See, like the pivot point is at such a weird place. I'll just move it back a bit. Like so. And I am distracting myself. Hip back plate. I'll just call this, because I keep forgetting what it is. What's this thing called? Oh my god, I don't know what stuff. Keep them separate. And then it might be better to keep these belt stuff separate. So I'll do the same thing. I'll clone this. And let's see, what's this? So I'll delete this one. And then for this one, I'll delete the others. And I'll move this to the belt. So now the belt is together, like that. Then this one. And just making sure that I didn't accidentally delete anything. There's a gap between his hip and his torso, but he has a skirt, so it doesn't really matter. Back plate, skirt. And then legs. And then this. Make sure that this is at the correct place. This one is relatively correct. And he's done. Save. I think I'll delete this because I don't use this. Oh my god, she's so messy. It's a cape. Cape front. This the sole. And this should be all the way at the bottom. Somewhere. Where's this? Boots. I wanna repeat that for the boots sole. So it repeats. And because she's in the middle of she's at the wall origin, I can just create a mirror at this point, and it should be symmetrical. So that's the boots. What's this? This one should be up here. This one's all over the place. Let me bring this up here. So this one's kind of done. Can hide this. Then I will, let me see. In general, I try to keep the objects that I mirror on the correct side. But then sometimes things get messy, and then the object that's being mirrored is like this one and this one. It kind of like gets in. This gets in the way. But like my OCPD nature is like, oh my god, I don't like it when the mirrored object is like on the wrong side. So if I disable the mirror, you can see like it's like tuck tuck tuck. It's not a big deal though. It's only a big deal if you have OCPD like me. Okay, so this one is her wrist stuff. What's this? I'm gonna put this here. this one has everything. That's good. Shirt sleeve. So I'll call this mirror arm. The skirt is here, mirror arm is here. And I think they should all be in this group. Let me put the skirt with the legs like that. Now put the arms here and delete this group because I don't need it anymore. So the hands, the arms. What are these things called? Next stuff. So I'm really not good at all these. Then color. Should I group them together? Yeah, maybe I can. Or maybe not. I don't know what they're called. So you can see the logic behind this would be this item here, and then the buttons, then the upper one and the lower one. Hand, arms. Then torso. Mask. See, hair, this is the main hair. Hair, main. I try to name things by calling it the object name. And it's just like the fringes and the main object, then it'll be like object underscore main. So this one will be hair I don't even call it fringe, I'll just call it maybe 3. Then this one is 1. This one is 2. It doesn't really matter that much because I may change up like how many pieces she will have on the head and all that stuff. I feel like probably for her head, because she has a neck, I will position it around here. Then that way she can rotate like that. Then now there's a bunch of stuff. They are at the wrong place. This is the belt, but I'm not really sure whether I want to stick with this belt. So I'm not going to rename it, I'll just arrange it at the correct place. Where's the mirror here? Oh. Cape should be I should just group this together. I guess cape can be here. This is at the wrong group completely. Just notice the group is all the way down here, so I will move it up. Because most likely she'll hinge at this spot, I think. Then I'll put it up here. I think I'll do her next, because I think she's neater. See at the hit. Just realized that if I do this and want to split to create more hair pieces like that, that it will be called hair main split, because it will just be the name of the file, the object, with a split behind. So I'll just call this, I'll just call it hair. These are just really minor stuff. Let's go back to the big stuff. Let's see. This one is torso, forearm, and That one's quite messy. Let's move this up, up. It's good. It's good. Purple. It's good. Black. This one is short purple. Black. Black. I'll put this under the shirt. Not sure whether I'm keeping these, so I'll just not name them. I'm not sure whether I should put a skirt above the legs. I guess it makes more sense. Make sure that the pivot is here. Don't think I need this screw. Last one for the night. I think the sword is generally quite alright. Because I think I organized this. I'll put the weapons high up in the group because the body stuff, the list can get really long. It's quite messy. Torso. I don't even know whether I need a torso anymore. Like, it's not even matching up to him. This one is shit. Maybe I'll just delete this. Can't be bothered to name these for now. Okay, just split. Shoulder. I think sometimes too, if I'm not sure, like for the belt, which one I should group it with, then I'll just isolate it as a whole. Then now I'll look at it and be like, yeah, it makes more sense for it to be together with the torso, I think. Because also like it matches up with the wrinkles on the clothes here more than on the skirt. I need to put these up there too. I just need to find them. And put them together. Something like that, so that these are together. This one too. something like this. I'll take this out. And then this one, I move it back. So just the hip, then the skirt. I guess I'll put this first. It's almost done. Then the legs, and then the boots, and then what's this? I guess these were old ones that I did. So I don't need this anymore, I can delete this. Yeah, I think I can delete this. So and just make sure that everything is in order. Okay. So that's it for tonight. I'll keep going with my second tutorial. I think second tutorial will be on the basics of symmetry, then and like how to troubleshoot symmetry, because I think as you can see, like all these pivot points, they're quite important in determining like how things are mirrored and all that. But yeah, I remember struggling a lot with just like orientating myself with the file. Like I think the first time that I did sculpting, like handling so many pieces would have been like impossible for me. Because I'll just like make such a mess and then things will be off. It will just go crazy. But then now like everything, now that I understand how things are like and do things systematically, it's quite easy for me to like navigate around, and if anything messes up, then just chill out and fix it up. Then that video will be on advanced symmetry workflow to do things like this. Which I think it's like is something essential for me, because of what? I guess like if I don't know the advanced stuff, so these are considered advanced for me, these sticks especially, this one too, kind of. But if I don't know how to deal with these things, then it would kind of make my workflow, or like sculpting in Nomad, a little bit like painful, I guess. So yeah, I'm very excited to share what I know about how to handle a lot of things. I can see that I have a lot of mirrors, a lot of curve repeaters. Even this one, I use a symmetry for this one. You can see I use symmetry for this. So yeah, I just need to figure out how to structure the tutorials because there's quite a lot of things to go through. Yeah, quite a lot of things to go through. I think when I started out, even something like this feel really confusing for me. Or like how to, I guess like how to even place this. Or let's say if the symmetry goes off like that for some reason, and I'm like, oh shit, I need to redo this all over again. But like, just to give you a general sense of how I usually fix this would be to just eyeball it like that, and then I'll force the symmetry like this, and then just put it back to where it was before. But I'll just undo that. Yeah, gotta think about how to structure it, how to record, what to show. And I should go for a run. No. They're procrastinating. Thank you for tuning in to today's stream. Thank you for the meantime. I'll see you in the next one. Oh, hi Moises. Thank you. Give you some keyboard ASMR. I really want to start working on, like, what do I do next? Because I want to at least fix this up and his wings a bit. His skirt also looks so like too clean right now. I also need to do this. Oh my god, so many things to do. But tutorial first. I'll try to push the, quite busy this week, but I hope that I can get the tutorial out so that I can work on the next tutorial. There's so many things to do. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.